Okay, we're going to try that again. What is with my cell phone? I don't even know. Okay, so today we're talking about balance. And I don't mean work-life balance, you know, how much should you work, how much should you enjoy life, spend time with your family and your friends. I want to talk about the balance of the concept of just do it versus get it right. And I think it's an interesting for all of us, and I would love to know if you guys have some input on this. I struggle with this all the time, and I think most of us do in any business. Man, she was really in a hurry to cut me off in this McDonald's drive-thru line. I ain't that big of a hurry, so it's okay. It's all good. She got a little thing like mine, too. She been doing some live videos or what? I don't know, but she got the same little arm stuck to her windshield. That's kind of funny. Okay, so in any event, how do you decide, if you're a dress shop owner, at what point do you say, I'm going to redecorate this section, I'm going to paint these walls and build a cuter shelf, I'm really going to storyboard this thing out, or do you just start building? It's if you're in real estate, it's like, when am I going to start this new campaign? I'm not sure that the ad text is perfect yet. I've got more work to do. At what point do you say, it's good enough, let's roll? What is it they say? Perfectionism is the enemy of getting anything done, really. Because, you know, I always consider myself an 80%er. I always say, you know, whereas some people are perfectionists, I'm really not. I'm like, if it's 80% good, let's get rolling and improve as we go. One reason it's interesting to me right now is we are getting ready to start our vlog and podcast. So one question I have for you is, how many of you are as obsessed with podcasts as I am right now? For the longest time, I was like, what's the deal? Why don't you just watch it on YouTube or listen to it? And everybody's like, yeah, but it's multitasking these days. You can be getting dressed in the morning. You can be doing your hair, whatever, cooking breakfast, and you can be listening. I'm like, well, so what? You can do that on YouTube. The point I missed was most of us, or so many of us, like to multitask. So while you're on your phone, if you want to be hearing something inspirational or educational, you might be also kind of flipping around Facebook and doing some other things. If you're listening on YouTube, it ends. If you are on a podcast, the audio continues. That's why people like it. You can flip around and still keep listening. So, love podcasts. I can share with you guys some of the ones I'm listening to if you would like. Let me know in the comments and I'll post the ones I'm listening to. So, we're about to start our podcast and video vlog. Why both, you may ask? Well, as you know, probably, I'm a huge Gary Vaynerchuk fan. And as he says, you got to make the most of your time. We're all too busy. So, what you do is you shoot a video. You capture and extract the audio, and that's your podcast. And now you have a vlog and a podcast from the same thing. Some people want to watch, some people want to listen. From that, you can also, thank you, sir. You bet. From that, you can also have a transcriptionist transcribe the audio, and there's your blog post, maybe with or without edits, depending on how long it is. And then you can also take your video and take the best 17-second clip of it and turn that into an Instagram video post. So multitasking sometimes gets a bad rap, meaning we're trying to be the jack of all trades and master of none, right? You can't get anything done that way. But there's things you can multitask, and this is one of them. So we're just repurposing the content in several directions in the way that people want to consume it, so everyone can take their pick. So my question is, our podcast, the topic, the title, we're a little bit stuck right now. We signed up probably two or 3 months ago with Podfly, which is like the premier podcast producer. They do the music, the intro, the outro. They have the voiceovers. Really top flight organization. They produce the show notes. The intro starter package is $1,300, which includes all of your setup, helping you get all of your equipment together, and it includes your first produced podcast. Yes, they will also get you on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you need to be. Thereafter, no contract, but it's about $500 a month to do one episode a week, basically, 4 episodes. So we've been signed up, and they're like, hello, you've done your audio test, everything's looking good, so can we just get an episode recorded? But you know, there's a little bit of pressure too. You want your first episode to be good, right? And I don't doubt that it will be, but my bigger challenge is topics. Not because I have too few topics. My problem, I think maybe because I'm 51 and I've done a lot of things, is too many topics. You know, a large part of the audience that I resonate with is realtors and female realtors in particular, but men as well. And I don't exclude them because really none of the advice I give is gender specific in any way. But at the same time, I've also owned retail stores for 20 years. I have been in sales for over 20 years. I practice law. I'm a mom. I love to travel. I've been to almost 50 countries. There are a lot of things I want to cover, but the conventional wisdom right now, you know, is what they say, riches are in the niches. So they really want you to be very niche or niche and have a specific topic, and that's what I'm struggling with. And really, in truth, I'm not even really much that struggling. I'm not doing it because, let's face it, I don't think I would be happy if all I allow myself to talk about is real estate. Because I'm a lot of things, and I know a little bit about a lot of things because I've lived. And I've taken chances, and that's kind of just how I roll. So basically, we have kind of laid out a thought for the podcast, which would be, here's how this came about. We're riding home from the airport, San Diego, social media marketing world. Some of you may know that I went there with my marketing director, Shaylee, my daughter, Savannah, who is our brand developer, and Jeremiah, our producer, editor, videographer, photographer. So on the way back, I started telling stories about starting off in business here, and they were just laughing hysterically. And even my daughter, Savannah, said, I haven't heard so many of these stories. I did not know that you slept on the display bed in the quilt shop for the first almost year when you moved here. So we were like on the showroom floor. That was where we lived as well. She said, I didn't know that sometimes you walked to work when Barry had taken the car to go do some other things. And I had to. So I think there's some great stories there. I don't want to be too indulgent and just tell my story, but at the same time, how do I really tell you a story about what I can teach, share, learn from you as well in the realm of business without letting you know kind of how all this started. So that was our first thought, was to do a 3 or 4 part podcast, 3 or 4 episodes, basically on my story, with the first one being childhood, including those great stories of my mom being held at Axe Point and all the different things, up to the time that I went to law school and practiced law and decided to make a change and become an entrepreneur. So that is our first thought to be episode number 1, but then we wanted to intersperse it so it's not just me. We need to bring in some other people and bring in some teaching moments. So we're considering bringing in some local entrepreneurs, particularly women, and I want to talk to them about their journey, about what's worked, what hasn't worked, what they've learned about sales, what they've learned about hardship, what they've learned about themselves. Because let me tell you what, it's not easy. But you know what? So nothing is, right? People tell me there are so many people who should not be entrepreneurs, and I say you should be fine with that. How many of you have read Robert Kiyosaki's incredible book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Great book. He talks about the quadrant of, are you an employee, are you self-employed, a business owner, or an investor? And the most important concept of all of that is there's nothing better or worse about any of those. Just know and understand that self-awareness, where you are and where you want to be. If you are an employee, you could be the CEO of GE. You could make millions and millions and millions of dollars being an employee. That's not a bad term, okay? There are people who love the security. I would argue it's false security in some ways. But the security of getting a regular paycheck. They want the steadiness of it. Then there are the self-employed, which is a big category. Many of us who think we're business owners are self-employed. That means if you don't go to work, does the money stop? If you don't go to work, does the money stop? Meaning, you could be a CPA and own an accounting firm, but if you are being paid solely or primarily by your efforts instead of what people on your team perhaps are doing, then you are self-employed, not a business owner. To be considered a business owner, you need to be able to ideally leave your business for, say, a year and go live in Venice, and the business continues on and even increases its production and revenues. Then the ultimate stage would be investor, where basically, I remember on the Cosby Show once, Mr. Cosby was saying, we're not rich, to his little daughter. He said, we work for our money. Rich people, their money works for them, and that's an investor. So that's where, theoretically, we'd all like to get someday. So, where was I going with that? Basically, I think it's just understanding that a lot of people should not be entrepreneurs. They wouldn't sleep at night. They wouldn't be happy. You can be happy in any of these sectors. Know your sector, know yourself. So these are the things I want to talk about in the podcast, and how I title that so that people can find it. How I focus that is what I would love input. If anyone has any thoughts, ideas, rants, goofy points to make, feel free. Please comment. Let me know if you're listening to podcasts. Let me know if you have anything I should check out, or if you want to hear the ones I'm listening to. And for now, Coco and I are going to go on the real estate caravan, aren't we, Beans? Say goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye. See y'all later. And she's so cute.